Cowie's back. Another very interesting statement here. Wealth is never derived from labour. It is only derived from the well-planned and structured exploitation of labour. Once again, interesting perspective. However, I think that this is all a matter of your opinion, right? We've got to understand, how do we actually define exploitation? If by exploitation you mean that for the vast majority of businesses who employ people, who typically target that they should be paying anywhere between 30 and 40% of their top line revenue on labour, they also then typically incur anywhere between 30 and 40% cost of doing business in operating expenses and cost of sales, which means that even the best businesses in the world only profit 20 to 30%, which means they're getting a 1/3 compensation for taking 2/3 risk of running that particular business. Now, we've got to acknowledge that, as I've spoken about on a number of occasions, I specialise in helping small business owners. Small business owners employ the vast majority of people in this country. They provide the most amount of economic opportunity for people who don't want to go out into their own business and start their own ventures. And I'm a big advocate for people going out and starting their own business. But there are certain individuals that their character just can't stomach the risk. Or it's not something that they're interested in. They'd prefer to have the peace of mind and certainty associated with having employment. If they choose that and they're not being held against their will, then I don't understand how that is exploitation. Now, we've got to realise, as an employee, you're provided and afforded a number of benefits. You're given a fixed income on a regular basis. Obviously, let's hope that business runs prudently and has good liquidity so they can continue to maintain that. You are provided with guaranteed retirement savings contributions of 11%. In Australia, we have 4 weeks annual leave, which is basically unprecedented in the developed world, and 2 weeks sick leave, which accrues indefinitely into the future. There's a number of businesses that are working towards 4-hour work weeks and providing opportunities for work-life balance and providing individuals with the ability to achieve their own individual goals, whether it be financial or lifestyle. And for those reasons, these people aren't exploited. They're provided with a tremendous amount of opportunity, but let's not beat around the bush here. Their contribution of their labour to a business is intended in order to produce a profit. Profits are required in a capitalist system, which I know from your last comment, it sounds like that you're of the communist belief system, which all power to you, but fundamentally doesn't work. The capitalist system has been proven to be the most successful system because it most closely aligns with our own intrinsic beliefs and behaviours as human beings. As human beings, we are resource guarders, and we aspire to have more resources than we typically have right now. It's just intrinsically ingrained into us as human beings. That aligns almost perfectly with the capitalist system, whereby you are rewarded commensurate to the value that you create in society. The more value that you create, the more you are rewarded as a result. And if you provide economic opportunity as a result of that by way of labour and creating value for society, which you create a profit for, then more power to you. This is exactly how I've built all of my wealth. And you can see that for our team members, if you look at any of our reviews of our team, we do an employee NPS survey every single week. We don't exploit anybody. We treat our team very, very well and provide them with a lot of opportunity. Now, it's not to say that there aren't businesses out there who do not exploit their team. Now, they definitely do. And I abhor that kind of behaviour. I don't believe that it's a way to run a business, particularly in the long term. I think all of those things catch up with you in the long run. But I think this is a very flawed perspective, because if you immediately jump to the conclusion that every single business should be tarred with this brush, that businesses are only created for the exploitation of labour, as if they were some kind of Civil War era slave business, slave trading business, I think that's setting you up for failure. I'm a believer that humans should be inherently good. At their core, people are good. They try and do the right thing. And I think if you immediately have this defensive perspective that is very much fear-based and is based on the assumption that people are trying to take advantage of you, then how do we end up in a better situation? I think I'd much prefer to have the mindset that people are good. There are bad people out there, and we should be trying to create a system where bad is not accepted, and we try and level up the standard of quality of opportunities for everyone. And as a result, I think we'll have a better world, whether that be capitalist or otherwise. Wish you all the best.